Hello, PED 110 family. Welcome back for week 3. By this point, we've got through our introduction and course orientation, and you should have completed Chapter 1, Understanding Fitness and Wellness. And so, in that chapter, that really gave you the understanding of what it means to be well. So, we're not just talking about healthy, but we're talking about total overall wellness. And so, we know there's many components to that beyond diet and exercise, but it means just taking care of ourselves holistically through mind, body, and spirit. Okay, and we also talked about some behavior change or modification in chapter 1. And so it's important to understand there that as we're turning over this new leaf and living a life of wellness, it's not always about taking things away. It's like not about taking away your favorite beverages or your favorite foods, but it can be about adding things. And that's I've always had more success with that when I'm adding something in that helps me become more healthy or live well, so to speak. Okay, and so there's a whole variety of things that you could add, and really that's something very personal, and that's where the labs come into play. So I had several questions about the lab. These labs are simply for you to reflect on where you are and how you can continue to improve, or if you're already doing great in that area, what it is uh, that makes it great. Sometimes we do things just by chance, and we don't realize that, hey, there's some true benefits here. So the labs are truly reflective. In all of the labs, there's really no wrong answers. It's just for you. And so I typically only post one lab per week. I had several questions about that. You're only responsible for the one lab that is posted. There may be multiple labs in some chapters, but you're only responsible for the labs that are posted online. Now, if you would like to complete any of the labs that are in the book, feel free to do so. Again, it provides you with very valuable information about yourself. By this point, you should have submitted your physical activity monitoring weekly report too. And again, we're looking for about 60 minutes of activity, and I understand the app trackers are very different. So just use good judgment there. I told you to keep it simple. I'm not really stressing over, how many steps you got in and should that equal 60 minutes. Just showing that you are being active consistently and regularly. That's a part of the behavior change modification, is making sure something becomes a routine that's part of basically our daily lives. And that gets us to this point. So as we're starting to be more intentional about our physical activity and understand physical activity and exercise are two different things. Physical activity is simply movement. Exercise is an intentional movement or program where you are doing it to gain benefits. Okay, and it's more structured and there's a regimen to it, but we'll get to that as we get to chapter 2. This week, though, we're going to hop around a little bit to chapter 12, because before we get here, it's important that we understand these special considerations to keep us safe. We don't want anyone getting hurt, in particular since this isn't a face-to-face class, and exercise may be a new concept for some of you, or you may have done it years back and you've been away from it for a while. So it's important to be mindful of the considerations that will keep us safe, such as diet and nutrition, uh, temperature and weather, certainly, proper equipment, um, just understanding where your limits are. Okay, we have different physical needs that would impact the types and the intensity of the exercises that we do. So going through chapter 12 very quickly, again, it's a routine in this course. You've got your checklist that keeps you on top of things. We want to see all green bars. Okay, we've got this video. You've got your chapter 12 PowerPoint, your quiz, your lab, and then your physical activity monitoring report. So pretty straightforward week for you, and that's due by midnight on September 5th. Okay, and again, that Tuesday night deadline is pretty much going to be the case always. All right, guys, I hope you've noticed. If you've had any questions, I'm very responsive. Please reach out to me. Again, monitor your progress through this bar here. And this is really important because it's so much of your grade. 40% of your grade is participation, and that almost all comes from here, and then also your physical activity monitoring weekly report. With that being said, please don't fall behind early in the semester. As I go down to the second introduction section, we've got a lot of partially filled bars. Take care of that, because online courses can get away from you if you're not on top of things each week. Okay, and remember, your attendance for online course is your completion of the work for that week. So stay focused, do your best. You guys have a great week. Live well. Take care.